No, Vic was the previous presentation, and unless you're here for me, why? Thank you so much, guys. I set this stuff up for myself. This is year 8 for me. Let me go through how Zenkaikon grew past what it was ever supposed to be. So my first year was Zenkaikon 2, and I had to borrow my mom's car to go out to a place, and I got into this room, which is the equivalent of the waiting room that we have right back there now. Is the equivalent of like one of the smaller panel rooms. That was their main event. And I looked around, kids are just sitting Indian style on the floor. There's like 50 of them in the room, and the room's already packed. I thought, I made it! I wish I'd written more jokes. Or a single one. I lied to get in and it worked. And then from there, they shut the place down that we were out by Valley Forge. And we had to use a smaller hotel. We'll skip over that year. And we went back to the old space, but then we could only use the ground space. Remember, the main event was down below into these sort of loft-like caves on a D&D map. And from there, we were so sad because we had to leave Valley Forge because we had reached capacity again. Like, the space could not fit more nerdage. I mean, you guys get yourself sweat out and greasy during a raid, but there's only so many of you that can fit in an elevator before one of you just pew, pops right out. Like when you just step on a can of anchovies, one of them is gonna go launching off to his own incredible journey. And then Lancaster contacts us. I know it's like another 45 minutes away, boo, and you're still in Pennsylvania, which takes an entire anime season to drive across. I have a friend who lives on Long Island, and he drives out to Pittsburgh every year, and I just say, do you want me to mail you a noose or some cyanide? Why would you do that to yourself? And then Lancaster comes around, and I was immediately intimidated by the space because it was way too large. The main events was way too large. Upstairs was even bigger than I thought. And then across the street, there was a farmer's market. And this morning, I got the last maple bacon long john. And to show you how much my love of this bacon donut is, I just quit working at a vegan donut sandwich shop in New York City. I ate an average of 6 donuts a day. I still had that long john. And I was proud of myself, so I'm texting Doug and Rob Walker from Channel Awesome, if you remember them from last year. Texting them just the wall of cheeses, the goat cheese lady, all the donuts I'm about to slam in my face. My phone rings. Period. This shows both pause and sarcasm, and contested friendship, or at least an internal conflict to remain of. Hate. Oh, we're on to a good start now. You. He noticed me. I should probably actually do the act that I thought I would. Started with the introductions. You can go a little lower. I know your lips are hollow. You're just like the paradox of microphones. It's fine. Love will make you grow. Good afternoon and welcome aboard Otaku National Airlines Flight 42 with service to Zenkaikon 2016. At this time, we'd like to invite aboard all members of our exclusive Elite Super Rare Digivolve Shiny Blue Diamond Club members. Please check your baggage and privileges at the door and line up on the red carpet away from the hoi polloi and the stank of the venomous first-class passengers. We'd like to now invite any Ultimate Elite Super Saiyan Premium Ruby and Sapphire members to line up and with a chance to stand awkwardly in a tiny plastic tube surrounded by brain-dead entitled teenagers and screaming children. I've been flying a lot this year. In a moment, we'll be opening up lineup privileges to be for the first class VIP Garnet level Hyperbeat cardholders. Please present your neck brand and firstborn child upon entering the line. You lucky dogs. We'd like to now invite members of our Fair Trade Organic Certified X and Y Club members, our Mega Black and White Ranger and Gold and Silver and Yellow and Green and Red and Blue Club members to board our flight. If you could please line up, and we can have you line up right next to the Deluxe Dragon Zord Super Gold Mystic Force Rose Quartz Club line members. This is a fully booked flight, so please toss your bags onto the runway like bales of rotten fish onto the 20 feet below of concrete runway to save our flight crew the back pain and effort. And now we'd like to board all passengers on Zone 2. All members of Zone 2 who forego their online flight peanut or pretzel flakes sealed in a bag will receive 1 extra half hour on the onboard ball pit. We'd like to now invite all members of our Amethyst, Pearl, and Peridot level passengers to leave. No refunds will be issued. And welcome aboard Otaku National Airline Flights 42 with service to Zenkaikon 2016. All passengers will be able to access our free onboard Wi-Fi, which will give you access to our homepage, an opportunity to pay us $30 for 2 hours of shoddy, unrefreshable Wi-Fi. You don't know how many likes that new Facebook profile pic got you. Tick-tock. Please have all 3DSs in an upright position, all seatbelts fastened. I think it's time we blow this scene, get everybody this stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Our online flight movie will be Seth Rogen's Fart Jokes and Pot. And if you pause for what seems like a lifetime of Kafkaesque bureaucratic pleasantries and psychological torture, thank you for flying JetBlue to Zenkaikon 2016. All we can promise is, this show is worth it. All my love to all different people, but like if they seat me next to a large person who, you know, like half of us out there can barely fit into these tiny Japanese-sized tubes that any airplane is, you know, I feel sympathy, of course, like if I have to sit next to someone who should have more than one chair and is currently taking up their and my chair. It's fine. It's a beanbag that can hug you back. Versus if the large person sits next to me, all I can think of is, and this is the double standard here, is the end of Akira when... That's out there specifically to traumatize all the 90s otaku with me. Where are my 90s at? Where are my 90s at? Did you guys see the sudden rainstorm that we had outside? Like an hour ago, I sat down at the tap room to rehearse. So that's what I do alone in my room. I sat there to rehearse and I saw, oh, there's some rain outside. And then I saw the farmer's market, there's a deluge of water coming down the side of it. And then I looked up and I started hearing hail smash it. Like, it was bad, and then it got bigger, and then it got bigger, and then it transformed to its final stage, and then like the sun, and it was gone. It was like winter this year, which was like every villain from One Punch Man. The Weather Channel was building up so bad. Here comes the blizzard of 2016. Oh, it's the sequel to Frozen, kids. Jack Frost on steroids. 52 degrees, never mind. Somewhere Saitama is late. My name is Uncle Yo. It is an honor and a privilege and such a pleasure to be in my 8th Zenkaikon because of all of you who say year after year, bring it back. This Uncle Yo, I'm a nerd-specific comedian. It's a fancy way of saying I wasted college. It's Uncle Yo, and I thought I'd be Asian too. Just deal with it. Disappointment is part of the American dream. A coworker asked me for what was my sign like 2 weeks ago. Like, you're an adorable child. I told her the bad signal. Because she was too young to get the Thundercats joke. There's so many panels this year, and one of my all-time favorite cons to go to specifically for panels is called Connecticut up in Hartford, Connecticut. Now, there was one weekend we had something like 1,000 hours worth of programming, a 24-hour con with like 12 plus rooms, and then workshops, and then other rooms, then just a place you could throw children. Right, the garbage chute. That wasn't officially on the map. It was... I've told my parents, you're getting a grand cat and you will be grateful for him. His birthday is June 2nd. And he'll make it onto varsity. Go, Mittens, go. But of like the 1,000 hours of programming, only 2 panelists did not show up. 2! That's incredible. What were they? I finally went down the list. And this is, I swear to you, this is true. I was about to say this is not true. Almost gave myself away. The only 2 panelists that did not show up were running the following panels. Social anxiety in crowds. And post-con depression. Traffic accidents, they happen. Sudden family emergencies happen. Work happens. Either this person was stuck in traffic, or they took their research so seriously, they just Daniel Day-Lewis'd it. I've seen too much. This is the year I think that Nintendo has officially given up. Like, it's not even to a point where Square Enix is able to invent and pretend another Final Fantasy. They're just doing another again. They're on repeats. Final Fantasy is now Nick at Night of the video game industry. Nintendo, not much better. Every year you have the yearly holiday you celebrate. It's called Pokemon. Sometimes you do the Mario game, but you know, it's Disney. It's all high quality stuff. Kids of all ages are gonna love it forever and ever, but you kinda know what you're getting versus like the Digimon relaunch. That's a reunion. That's getting the band back together. But Nintendo, I think, has officially given up, or like, when they try to pander, it's just so little. Like, in the new Zelda game, we're gonna have a playable girl Link. That's good. Girls play Zelda too, right, ladies? Seriously, love the music. And they show the character design, and it's Link with like an A cup, which is the Japanese double D, no matter what they tell you. I've been told. And she's got 2 crossbows. Link has a bow too. These are crossbows. These are different. So he's in a dress. It's got crosses on it. What's her name? Girl! Link! Girl! Link! Girl! Linkle! We don't even care. You're gonna buy it anyway. You're damn right I'm gonna buy it. Because I'm Nintendo and you bit me when I was young. But Link as a girl. So apparently, 2015 was the year that Nintendo finally Google searched Legend of Zelda cosplay, Legend of Zelda fanfiction, or asked any dwarf from Lord of the Rings. They all look like girls to me. Because a Link cosplay is just a Tinkerbell that hasn't earned her wings yet. Put on the wings. Oh man, Tinker got a sword. Hot. Maybe he'll notice you now. But they're catering so little, so late, there's just no effect to it. Like, we'll throw girls into the Zelda series, we've had a bunch already, and then Sheik, who's halfway, we'll take it. They're just trying so hard for so little. It's like getting fisted by Tinkerbell. I appreciate the thought and effort. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Let's stop trumping the situation. After 20 years of Legend of Zelda, why did none of us ever think to bring the cuckoo to the final fight with Ganon? Those chickens are indestructible. The water temple, you will have nightmares of that forever. The fire temple, dangerous. Some of the bosses, incredible. The chickens, you mess with one chicken, you mess with them all. After that horrible elf mauling incident, a new general rose from Ganon's army. The Colonel. With a plan. If that were the final smash in the new Smash Brothers, I would be justifiably terrified. Nothing was worse than... Oh God, did I accidentally hit that chicken with a vase? Like your brother turns around, and it's always slow motion in the playback of your nightmares. So yeah, white guy, nerd con, holding a microphone. How long before he talks about Star Wars, The Force Awakens? How dare you stereotype me? I saw it 3 times. I had my trusty TARDIS flask, a 2-pound bag of peanut M&Ms, and my boys Han and Chewie. I won. Which was the right way to saw it. I enjoyed Star Wars A New Hope 2.0. I like it because I like seeing how bitter and detached George Lucas is now from it. Mr. Star Wars, who sold his idea to Disney. He could buy Greece. He could just pick to a plot of land and say, I'm Columbusing that. What are you gonna tell me? I invented Luke Skywalker. But to hear him on the interviews now, he is so bitter and so angry, and I love it. That's what he deserves for trying us to like buying the same movie again and again and again. He could have died to the Obi-Wan, but he's lived long enough to see himself become the Palpatine. Like, not to say that George Lucas has been like in control of everything directly, didn't do like the novels or the spin-offs or the cartoons, which are really good too. But he is the key holder of the kingdom. So in these interviews now, he just sounds so bitter and angry. He sounds like your dad the last weekend before he can tell you that they're getting a divorced. It's just he and the older Star Wars don't all that. George Lucas deserves that. To hear him defend his work against even the old school Star Wars fan, he's like on that final drive to Disney World. Shut up about midichlorians, I swear to God I will turn this X-Wing around. Shut up about midichlorians. Stop hitting your brother, we have to act like a family. Stop hitting, fine. Gungans were the original Jedi. Are you happy now? Fine, no, keep singing the song that never ends. What else do you want? I'm gonna count to 3, then I'm gonna make more prequels. I'm gonna make more prequels right now. I'm gonna count to 1, 2, I'm about to retcon Boba Fett. You cry to your mother, see if it works better for you than it does for me. He's so bitter about Star Wars. He's like Walter White at the start of Breaking Bad bitter. Which makes J.J. Abrams his Jesse, because all that bitch can do is copy. Mr. White, what color should the lightsaber be? Everything in that movie was round, though. Okay? Everything in that weird movie was round. The new droid, BB-8, adorable, but it's very round, and you think that's fine. And then you see that massive rolling tentacle monster, which, as a lifelong anime fan, I was not comfortable being in the front row. Good to see after 10 years, some traditions never change, Zenkaikon. The weird rolling tentacle monster was round. They built another round death. What happened while he's writing the script? He's just pulling out his hair, doing laundry one night just to get away from it. How can I remake Star Wars? It's the most beloved story ever. It's pop culture incarnate. There's no way I can... Hang on now. I don't have to do anything unique or new with Star Wars. It's Star Wars! Just do the same thing on repeat. Will you make any new ideas, JJ? He didn't get around to them. No. There will be no new ideas. Well, potentially polygamy with the 3 tri that they got going now, which is hot. Used to think every good movie stems from a great villain. Turns out you just need a villain, because the newest Disney princess, Kylo Ren. It's just magical. He walks around that Death Star like the only steampunk or Civil War reenactor at Zenkaikon. From a time you wouldn't even understand. This is why I'm so awesome. Emo called. It died. It died in a long time ago in a galaxy this close, so let alone how outdated you are, son. He's got to dress in black because it's just a phase. He's the mascot for all the old Star Wars franchise. He freaks out because there's a girl on screen. Because the old characters aren't there to make everything better. Just wandering around his work yelling at people. Man, my grandpa would have hated you. Dude, the one fight your grandpa won was when he was slaughtering a bunch of unarmed kids. Any other fight, he got dismantled. Have you seen the prequels? Sure you don't want to change your last name? Did you even meet your grandpa? He wouldn't like you anyway. I love him. But that movie was not only predicting the future, but it was a commentary of our generation. Because the whole inciting incident is that Poe, that handsome, like David Tennant handsome pilot, he freaks out over what's the inciting incident. He loses his droid with all of his map apps, all of his contacts, and he freaks out. So like us. Nah, I don't think I want to do that one. It's more for cosplay burlesque, it's the dirty one. My last Otakon, I was standing at the top of a 16th floor elevator with some friends. And what do when you're at the top of an elevator? You eventually want to go down. You know that it's an anime convention, and you're even like within a mile of Otakon, so the nerd spillage is just, it's like the third episode of Furry Force, just drowning. You're old enough to meet me at the bar, you're old enough to meet me at the bar. Everyone who groaned is correct. Everyone else who didn't say it either didn't watch Furry Force on College Humor. There you go. Now you're catching on. If with me, Zootopia. We're at the top of the elevator. And you know someone else is gonna get in the elevator, and some girl approaches, and she's in a cosplay, she's in a costume that 90s fans like me would remember many, many times. Which is so interesting because I recognized the character that she was in, because her character was from a hentai I may or may not have grown up with, and discovered it's very rare to notice the character in clothing, which means to know someone to notice that the character is in clothing would mean you spent a long time looking at the front cover of the box and waiting from the years of 15 to 18 when you could finally rent that thing without your mother looking. She's cosplayed as this. I look over to the other three guys. They see what she's dressed as. I recognize that they know what she's dressed as. And now we enter the white man's dilemma. Because the last thing we want to do is let this girl know we know what she's from. They're showing. That time you got reamed by all three of the cactus monsters. Can I have your autograph? Can you lick my hand too? Or we can pretend that we don't know what she's from, which we can't do, because 2 hours before we were doing stand-up comedy about the show she was cosplayed from. And we do the white man panic. We did the right thing, because cosplay is not, nor ever can be, nor will ever be construed as consent, and we said, enjoy your empty elevator ride, gentlemen, to the stairs! Time for a run! I saw a t-shirt that a decade ago would have made so much more sense, but I realized a decade ago, you didn't just have anime the way that you wanted. The t-shirt read, and I had this in high school, anime, drugs would be cheaper. And that's just not the case anymore. You bastards who chuckled. You get your anime on Netflix or Crunchyroll.com for free! New anime that premiered in Japan this year. If you want to watch all of it, you just do. I don't know what you guys are going to tell your cats when you're old enough to move out of the house and buy your own. Oh, back in the 2010s, mittens. If you wanted new anime, you got it. It was so hard. You had it on your phone, on your iPad, on your TV. You couldn't escape it if you wanted it. You had to turn on your iPad, open the app, and that was it. Yeah, if you didn't want to read subtitles, all you had to do was cry, and a Funimation voice actor just appeared behind you in the bathroom mirror with a back rub and a box full of brownies. It was horrible. It was awful. We paraded them as gods. We had to wait seconds for episodes to download. We'd have to wait 15 seconds. And 5, we could just skip the ad. If I use the word laserdisc, because it's funny and amazing to me now, it's like my nerd friends are now having kids, and I can't wait for, like, our generation, it was naked baby photos. This one is gonna be, oh God, they dressed you up as 90s cable, didn't they? I found a picture of old grandma. Oh, there we go. You're not gonna have anything to complain about, because I remember spending $30 on 3 episodes on a VHS. Random in the middle of the series. Why would you ever hold the first of an issue, just the first of a series to bite you? And then weeks later, you'd get now available all of Escaflowne for download at $25. And you go, down what? What is that word? It's on this thing called the internet. And I remember just looking over old Polaroids of me back in the... Now, for the millennials in the audience, a Polaroid was a box It's like a toaster. You'd look at someone and it would make one picture, but that one picture only once, and you would shake that picture. Now, a picture was a physical square that you had to go and have someone else print, and someone else look at your stuff and maybe make extra copies for their weird folders. But that's what we did back in high school. So you would take your... A camera is what happens when... See, back in my day, objects and machines had one simple function. If you didn't know what it was in their name. A printer, what does it do? Print. I need to fax something. Oh, you should go to the faxer. What does it do? Makes your life hell. Because old TV, because what I love about Crunchyroll's development and what I love about the anime community is that we're a cutting edge, super intelligent medium. We cut ahead of the pirating teenagers, made it legal, and we're able to get money back into the industry because we followed and listened to the nerds. Old television, old TV networks are freaking out right now. NBC Universal is scrambling to buy Funny or Die and College Humor and BuzzFeed because they have nothing. They say, CBS, America's most watched news network, because that many old people fall asleep during CSI and can't turn their TV off. America's Funniest Home Videos is on television with new episodes because that many people don't know what YouTube is. How? It's like finding someone writing on papyrus. Nowadays, they're trying to just sneak you ads. And we, of the nerd generation, we who grew up with like the CDR burnt towers of Inuyasha. Here's 300 episodes of Inuyasha. Mace. Episodes 48 through 49, 50 through 51, 52 through 53. It was CDRs and we were grateful for them. But now, you gotta watch an ad. Because you have to, that's the business. If you don't watch and click on the ad, they don't get the revenue for it. We don't want to do that anymore, so here's how you keep the service industry going. You take a bunch of friendly cats, you shave into their sides various logos of different companies. Whoever picks up the cat gives $1 to its corporate master. I just want more cats in your day-to-day life. Because I love you, and I have a lot of cats I want to get rid of. Want to switch things up for a moment? A little dry mouth, thank you everybody. Look at any young girl, look at any young kid. Yeah, the next part of this, we're gonna get a little politically correct. It's fine. Yes, I'm going to talk about ladies and women's rights, and I understand if you're Pennsatucky enough that makes your butthole go. Relax. Work your way around it. We'll be just fine. I don't want to necessarily be labeled a social justice warrior unless I could multi-class. Because I've got 3 levels of arcane spellcaster, and Daddy needs his magic missile. Look at young girls today. Young girls today, young girls now. I decided to make Tanao. Tanao's a new noun. You can go ahead and use it in your next Mad Lib. Tanao, the present, the current. We're living it. And a young girl going to school, what's on her backpack? What's on her t-shirt? Frozen, Disney princesses. Sex in the City, but more animals. Just hanging out like every princess gets his own like pet or professional Digimon. I'm not sure how this goes. They'll eventually have to make like a Disney Princess Smash Brothers. Its time has come. But it still reinforces the idea that you're not useful as a girl in America unless you're pretty, unless you're pretty first, unless you have that perfect, and I just don't think that's the case. I'd like to believe that Disney princesses are good role models, but you'll look back at some of the older stuff and half of them spend the movie asleep or unconscious. That's not, I mean, for narcoleptics, maybe that's a great role model, but I'm convinced, Zenkaikon, you and I are smart enough to go back and retcon some of these Disney princesses to make them decent role models. So this next part is called Disney Princess Resume. We're gonna run around, I'm gonna take suggestions from Disney princesses from you. We're gonna update the stuff on their resume for today's LinkedIn millennial generation. So classic Disney princess, if you have a suggestion, raise up your hand. And let's see if we can rework some skill. Yes, with the black on the face, not necessarily the black face, but I just want to make sure that we're all visually on the right spot.
Jasmine.
Ooh, okay. Princess Jasmine? Until the animated series, you don't really get anything awesome of Princess Jasmine, but I think I could bite. If you watch Aladdin from Jasmine's perspective, it's like a Jennifer Aniston movie. Her whole arc is, you need a man. There's one. No, you need a man. There's another one. 2 for 1. Crap. This one's even younger. You need a man. Exotic wildlife rehabilitation. I think that's a good skill that we can give to Jasmine. I think she is got some Bernie Sanders going on because she is down dressing up as the poor in a parody. Disney princess from this side of the room. Any suggestions? Yes, over. Snow White. Pass. Crap. Alright, she, Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella seem to have like that universal power that looks amazing. You summon vocally the local wildlife and you start teaching them real life skills like sewing and cooking and cleaning. You're like weaponizing, they're project managers, let's put it that way. If you are teaching the local inhabitant wildlife, you're just Christopher Columbusing that. And you know Snow White's gonna get away with it because she's white. You groan because you hate America's truth. Here's my friend in the green room.
Tiana next.
Oh, Tiana from Princess and the Frog. You realize she's a small business owner, right? She's like the one black Republican Disney princess. I love that about the whole movie. Because the whole movie, witchcraft, voodoo, this'll get us our token. Tiana's like, I have work in the morning. I'm a working woman. I'm done with this. I have payroll to do. Ariel. Ariel's a good one. Hipster Ariel? Really? No. Look at this cosplay. Ain't this neat? Say that wig's looking chic. Here's the thing. Oh, ALS spokeswoman. There you go. Sign language specialist, scuba diving assistant. That would go very well. But Ariel's whole story, I don't think she ever... Listen to the song. Listen to Part of Your World. She was longing to explore humanity way before even like falling in love with Prince Eric. Listen to the lyrics. What did she want to learn about people? Feet. She wanted to get up there. Toes, what do they do? No fin, no gills. Fascinating. Bring me your shoes. Cultural anthropologist. She's a Disney princess, Charles Dunbar. There you have it. Let's do 2 more. I saw you with your hand up first, then I'll get it on my way back down.
Cusco.
Touche. There we go. That was awesome. You know, anytime there's like a prince, anytime there's a prince in a puppet story, you got to give him credit at some point. I love the poorly educated. And he's doing great, trying to win over the poor by dressing up as animals. That's what Trump should be doing. Just come on in a different snuggie. Just saw Zootopia. Excited. I'm Zenkaikon. One person clapped. I found the furry. Gotcha. And the Kyubey from Naruto. Shut up, furry. We got any suggestions from over here? Like two more? Yes, Saul. Mulan. Ooh, transgender rights activist. Not only that. Dragon Lilith. Combustion specialist. Yes. Military history background. This one's a good one. Bomb Squad? There's Princess Bomb Squad? Maybe in Adventure Time. In the Hurt Locker with Eddie Murphy. I hope this fails. I hope this fails. Are you guys are Gomez and Morticia Adams? Not to fester on the idea, but you both have both won oral sex from me. That is awesome. I thought you were Elvira for a moment, but I saw the pencil-thin mustache. I thought John Waters wouldn't be at Zenkaikon. You want Ariel and Cinderella to hook up? Don't we all? Rapunzel. Ooh. Hairstyle specialist, that's the obvious one. Super Saiyan reform, that would work well. Also, criminal reform, really, because, you know, I can think Flint ends as a slightly better guy than he was. 2 weeks ago, I got suggestions I've never had before, never had an answer for. Someone asked for Nala from The Lion King. Like, a lion, and First off, I had to be corrected. She is a princess. She doth marry the king. But a role model for little girls, a Sahara lion? Here's an apex predator who sees it as her job to maul and devour the weak. Put her ass on Wall Street. It'll be a good role model. She's the Disney princess Tamika Flynn. And then somebody yelled out Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Nice try, not princess, but then you think about it. What can you learn from the girl? Here's a beautiful, Aryan, bright blonde-haired idiot wandering through a world that does not match what she believes reality to be, and she still holds it to her fact. Clearly, I'm right and this whole world is wrong. Republican strategist. I almost wish that Jeb Bush got the nomination. I almost wish, because then the Bush dynasty could be the Matrix trilogy of American presidents. You know, the first one, a little dated, but you know, I guess we did good by it. The second one, what happened? There was a skip, did we bring in new writers? This is terrible. And the third one, at least it's not the second. Let's play with it. Let's play with it. So eventually I would love for us to be progressive enough as a county, as a culture. First off, I think that if America treated the owners of boobs with the same love and fascination that we do with boobs themselves, we would be better people. We would be a better place. Guys, even if you're not a cosplay burlesque tonight, everybody loves boobs. Turns out girls love boobs. Guys, is it even worth lesbians? I would hope so. Narrowing your options there. I'm gonna play a Nintendo 64 without the D-pad. Just be for me. I used to think gay guys had nothing to do with boobs. I was vehemently corrected. Gay men love boobs with the intense alien distracted fascination your cat loves a Christmas tree ornament. What is that? How did it get in the house? I don't know where you come from, but you're so shiny and bouncy. I need to play with you! Let's dance! I would love for us to become a culture where mental health and sexual orientation, rather than making it like solid lines and barriers and blacks and whites, rather than Nido King and Nido Queen, we start seeing it more as ditto. I'm gonna try this for a while. How'd it work? I'm gonna try stuff. I'm just gonna be up for it. Because any of this cross away from cis, straight, white is all part of humanity, is all awesome. But they're all just getting clumped together and attacked left and right. Because what Florida was originally gonna do, North Carolina succeeded and banned transgender citizens from using the public restroom. They passed it. Thankfully, the governor drop-kicked them in the face and said, justice. But to know that it's still out there, to know that people are still trying to separate and spread those lines, and even allies, if you go through Tumblr, you start to think that sexual orientation is for millennials what Polish last names were for me. It's just the thing that you're eventually gonna run across, you're not gonna know what to do with it, you're just gonna say, what do you want to be called? This makes no sense! Because you should just be, if you decide something different of yourself, if you swing a different way, no, not gonna happen. The original words that we had for generations in America was just queer. It was just under the box of queer. Then 90s came along, even it got on the attack, fags. Then the early 2000s, homesucks. We were working on a label that kinda would fit as many as we could. And I've got a new word. I got a new word that's gonna offend everybody, left and right, period. We gotta go for the attack now, America. We gotta make sure that anything different is wrong, and there's no way that a nation that grew up on cartoons like Captain Planet and the Planeteers, or the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, or even the Justice League or Star Trek, fails to think that diversity is a strength. So if anyone comes out and they tell you, I'm a quasi, gender fluid, poly, non-binary, here's your new word, friend. That's it. They're just people. Everybody loses their virginity to themselves. Lefty or righty. It happens. There's a marathon. Lights go down low. You get the right the right shot of Sango from Inuyasha. Pause that episode. Is there? It's the internet, of course there is. You can't, well, sometimes I'm attracted to, look, every Whovian for at least an afternoon is David Tennant sexual. Deal with it. Deal with it. There's one shot in his run where it's like, anywhere in time and space. Where are your pants right now? Are they bigger on the inside too? Give you a real purpose, give you a real idea, a real function. It breaks my heart that we can be better people, but sometimes we don't. I'm gonna tell you a real story. DC Comics and Marvel Comics. Yeah, I would do that too. Okay, DC Comics had this amazing comic run a couple years ago. You might remember Batwoman. Batwoman was exactly what it sounds like. Girl, bright, colorful, curly red wig, black latex, drop-kicking Gotham criminals in the face. It's a Bat comic, what do you expect? She was in a lesbian relationship with one of the Gotham City Police Department detectives. We have never had that in a Batman comic before. I mean, like, we all knew that Jim Gordon and Batman were friends, but he was not gonna bring the bollocks to him anytime soon. Robin's out of town, Superman's in space. Jim, I'm so lonely. Be my dad. Gave you that inch and you ran a mile with it. You guys are ready to write for Arrow next. The hate is the most delicious reaction. And the writer said at the end of this arc, Batwoman is gonna propose to her girlfriend. We've never had that in a comic before. And DC rose up the wall and said, no, we won't have that arc. And the writer said, okay, we'll take our business elsewhere. And they left. DC Comics put up a wall and said, no Bat character is gonna marry someone of the same sex. Shame on you, DC. Shame on you. We can't have two women kissing in a comic book we're trying to sell to teenage boys. Teenage boy! They are crack addicts for cleavage! What we did in the 90s would shock even the most loyal Attack on Titan phantoms! We can't imagine, DC, you have a comic called Plastic Man. You have Aquaman. You put money behind sponsoring Aquaman. You imagine a world where Aquaman is an effective superhero and you can't imagine a police officer committing to love and preserve and protect the woman she loves. Shame on you, give me a Wonder Woman movie. Marvel Comics had that opportunity as well. Marvel Comics heard what happened at Batwoman, and they said, okay, we have an idea. Next month's X-Men, North Star kissing his new husband on the cover. Suck it, DC. We don't want to see it, let alone put it in our mouth. Marvel Comics will go the extra mile. It's fine, it's great, that's what I love about it. They outed Bobby Drake recently. Yeah, one of the original 4 members of the X-Men, Iceman, in comic books, is just as gay as Iceman in Top Gun. And you know what happened the next comic? The very next comic, the next day, Bobby Drake realized this, and he had this huge conversation with Jean Grey, and then he woke up the next day, guess who he was? Still Iceman! He still shot ice out of his hands. It wasn't like he suddenly clicked a switch, called a member of the X-Men, showed up in the Borat swimsuit. I'ma stop you right there, Cyclops. Turns out the only one-eyed monster I care about is the one dangling between Wolverines. Oh no, rainbows and unicorn turds are all I can shoot from my hand. I'm still a better superhero than, I don't know, Aquaman! It doesn't matter. Threats keep coming out, keep coming, keep changing. I think I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. I think of this, I think of this. All right, tell you what. Are you still the neurotic blonde who crushes me in Smash Brothers every time? Are you still? Then we're friends. Come on. You need an ally. You got it. But for right now, please let's play the video game and don't let me die as lonely as you think you're going to. Because we're friends. Because we're friends. That's how this works. And that's what I've loved about Zenkaikon. I've watched couples meet here. I've watched them get proposed to. I've watched kids come of age in the last 8 years. And they come back and they bring friends. They come to a convention alone. That's fine. You don't need to leave it alone. If I knew it were out there, it would have hurt. And I'm sorry if I get weird in my old age, or if I'm just hitting you in the feels. Okay, hang on. Where are the feels? Technically, if you get hit anywhere, where will you not feel it? Are they insinuating like heart feels like it's in the heart? No, that's where the groove is, and you do not mess with anyone's groove. They tell us that you can't adult today, it's too much. I'm here to tell you, when you are an adult before you have kids, go to Disney World, run around Magic Kingdom drunk all day. You will know what joy is! Elbowing children left and right, and their parents will thank you! That's way too raunchy, I gotta do that later tonight. They started making superhero-themed rides. I used to ride the Hulk at Six Flags. I would ride the Superman, lost my first cell phone on it. I've ridden the Batman, the Green Lantern. Those are good rides. I try to stop losing my place on the paper because the words are bouncing. My name's Uncle Drunk. I'm handling this a little right now. We need a new roller coaster. We need the Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice roller coaster. Here's how it goes. It only runs in the rain at night, and when it starts, it drops you like 10 feet and stops. That is the ride. Oh, good times. I've missed you guys. I really have. This was the first con ever I got to do a LARP at. This was the first con I ever entered for the kicks of it, a video game tournament. This was the first con that ever let me MC a cosplay masquerade, that ever let me have the experience to meet like the real heroes of cons, and that's the con goers. It's an amazing, crazy place opportunity. Like I look at, and there's like my face in a book about people who like have done something with the medium or the industry. And every year I just think what Judy Garland thought. It worked, I churched them again. Mwahaha, they'll never know I'm no good. They'll never know I'm no good. Circle, circle, where's the cocaine? I probably end that a little earlier than Judy Garland. The great Garland. I wanted to wrap it up with this one. And this is just a thanks to all the years of you guys, of all the friends I've made over the years that come back year and a year. I see at other conventions, and we just come home. This was my hometown con, and it's a little further out west now, but that farmer's market be my new home. I think we've gone over the need for sugar content, and I just want to drop it off with this one. Long story short, last year my family lost a pillar member of its society. We lost my stepfather, happiest, healthiest man in the world, who really was the best of everything he came from. Came from the city of Pittsburgh, he was the best in the city of Pittsburgh. Graduated from Penn State, his entire fraternity showed up over the course of the 4 years that they were together in the 70s. Show up, the funeral home turns away 200 people, and my uncle gets to the podium and asks, raise your hand if you thought that Jack Repchik was your best friend. And as I look around, I see that half of the audience has their hand raised as well as me. And I think, yeah, actually they're right. And for 22 years I got to call him my stepfather. For 22 years my mother got to know him as the best man she ever knew. For 22 years he was my cousin's best guitar buddy. For 22 years everything was the best about him. And I wanted to realize that even though grief is a very personal journey that you will take at some point in your life, even if it's at the end of your favorite anime, even if it's a beloved pet, a beloved member, healing is communal. Healing is one of the things that can tell you you have something in common with all of your brothers and sisters, no matter what they are and what they be. And I wanted to spend this year spreading what I had learned from my friend, from Jack Pop. Whitest man you'd ever meet. He had phrases like, "You know it, eye of the tiger," all the time. So, when you can, here are some things you can do to ensure that you lead a good life. Commit an 80s workout song to memory. I recommend quoting Freddie Mercury at every job interview. "Well, sir, I am immortal. I have inside me the blood of kings. I have no rival. No man can be my equal, and I'm available weekends. When can I start at Chipotle?" Learn a dance. I don't care from where, from a movie, from a music video, from a cartoon, from something online. Commit that dance to memory. Do that dance at every opportunity. Every wedding, holiday, karaoke party, forest fire, costume party, baby shower, Krampus hunt, meteor shower, baby meteor show that leads to a forest fire. Maybe not that last one, but be known for a dance. Call someone on your phone and remind them that they were part of your good old days. That you missed their role in your good old days, and knowing them made you better. Be sincerely fascinated by people. Their loves and motivations. Why? How? Are you kidding me? Can they be taught? If you allow people to fascinate you, really fascinate you, the world will never lose its wonder, and you'll wake up excited to get out of bed. Show up to work one day with a box full of donuts. Don't say they're from you. Leave them. And then, when someone opens the box, spring out of the closet, dressed as a temple guard from Legends of the Hidden Temple, wielding a spear. The survivors are your friends. If you have to talk about someone in public, write it out first, rehearse it, and then only when it is kind and honest, stick to the script. Make every meal a shared meal, no matter how small, no matter how simple, and always ask if they're sure they want the last one. If they're sure, are you sure? You sure? Yeah, there are two more. You're sure? Because I'm just gonna, I might take it home for your mom. Eat it! He would buy the 5 of us, all of his kids, lunch in Bryant Park, Manhattan. And he would pull out of his jacket a brown paper bag with a turkey sandwich and 2 clementines that my mom packed from the night before. He always had the turkey sandwich. Replace the person you hate the most with a random star. Last one you see tonight. That way every morning, anything that you were ever gonna wake up with hate in your heart is out of your life. And live on in the joy that it is alone in the cold barrenness of space, somehow perpetually on fire! Suck it, Krypton! Try not to blow it this time! I'm amazed no one ever about Krypton, but if I had said Alderaan, at least one of you makes it the Maze Hughes reaction. Alderaan, the Maze Hughes of Star Wars. I can't get any more esoteric than that. Celebrate someone else's victory like it is your own, especially if it's the other team. Because you showing up to the game helped them win. Show everyone you love your favorite movie. On repeat. Until they learn to get out of the handcuffs. Those who can get out and solve the puzzle before you wake up may now join you on the next Krampus hunt. It's a yearly tradition. It brings the family together. Not to mention the bloodhounds. And each night, before you go to sleep, tell my mom the truth. Tell her that she is beautiful, that she is not weak, that she is not a coward, and that she is not alone. I've run this past my mom, she's okay with it. Y'all might want to take turns and rotate, like if you want to set up a schedule, that'd be fine too. It's a small bedroom, there's a lot of you, we can make time. There are apps for this. There are timing apps for this. I'll be in the second room over there once we're done with this. The new DVD is out. This is its third con that it's ever premiered at. Everything else that I've ever done is on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon. Thanks to you people inviting us back every year. And remind you and everyone else in your life that you love that may or may not be there the next time. Grief is solo, healing is communal. When a light goes out that suddenly, it's up to you to shine even brighter and just be the things that you love. And for the things that I love that come together every year at Zenkaikon, I can't thank you guys enough for this chance and opportunity every year. My name's Uncle Yo, and I gotta go. We'll see you for Cosplay for Less. Live, laugh, and block.